Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Fast Fridays.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I also love Fast Fridays.
I'm Dan, and it should come as no surprise to you that I also love Fast Fridays, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Da.
Boy.
Well, hello, everybody.
What
vroom,
a
vroom
day.
to you.
Vroom, vroom to you.
Switch to my cam, Aaron.
Go to 1, 3. Go to 3. Oh, stand up a little. Look at that. If you're watching on Philo, you're seeing our branded Fast Fridays, Deck the Hallmark, vroom to your t-shirt and sweatshirt.
Now, here's the thing.
We're
doing something we've only done one other time.
That's right.
We're doing a merch drop.
Merch drop.
It's a merch drop. This weekend only,
15th,
right now.
16th, 17th of September. Those 3 days are the only 3 days that you can buy your very own Fast Fridays vroom to you t-shirt.
That's exactly right. Now, if you've been following along on our socials, you know that we launched our new store this week, which has been really fun.
Yeah.
All sorts of cool stuff on there, including this here cap. But we thought we would celebrate in an extra fashion with a merch drop, a vroom to you merch drop. We got it in sweatshirt form and in t-shirt form.
So we sometimes we joke about things and they never come back again, and other times we joke about things and they become a real thing, and that's what happened with these shirts. So they're here and they're fantastic, and Ryan's is in the mail. It'll be to him before you know it.
Yeah, so for anyone on Philo, apologies that I'm just in a regular t-shirt, not nearly as cool. But maybe I'll do like a live stream tomorrow or something, just so you can see me and mine on the Instagram or something, you know?
Yeah.
But they're good-looking threads, I gotta say. You really did it.
Yeah. We love them, and shout out to the guy on Fiverr who designed this.
That's right. We had a guy on Fiverr design this. This is great.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
Did a great job. Love it. Very excited. Head to deckthehallmark.com/shop. You can buy it right now, only for this weekend. After this weekend, they're gone forever.
Gone forever.
You're going to see us wear them every once in a while. You're going to be like, man, I missed out on that.
Missed the vroom.
I missed out on that.
Yeah. Or you're going to be like, what's vroom to you?
Yeah.
It could be that too.
Was that only for a short amount of time? Yes, it was.
Yeah. Are we going to bring back vroom to you during like season 2 of The Way Home? You don't know. You don't know that information.
There's no way to know.
You know what
There's
I
no way
was thinking about just last night was this. What are we going to do with Ryan during the holiday season?
Yeah. He's going to get a break.
I do watch the Christmas films,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, we're going to have to bring him on.
I don't know what we're going to do with you, because everybody's kind of got their thing.
Yeah.
We've got pockets of people that do things.
Yeah, we've got a rotating cast of characters. But
Well,
it'll feel.
I am one of the friends in the song. I always love that we talk about these things on air. It's kind of edgy.
I just.
These are our business meetings.
Here's
We
the
do
thing.
both.
I'm not saying I have any answers. I didn't come up with anything.
It
yet.
would feel weird not to talk to you for 2 months.
It would feel weird.
Right? I mean, we text.
could still talk offline. Like Dan and I talk about football and
We do.
stuff, and Brand and I talk about all the things we liked when we were 9.
That's
I mean,
right.
so
That's exactly right.
Same things
That's
you guys
exactly
like
right
now.
Yeah, accurate. Hey, Arnold. I'm excited though to see what happens. I know it's going to be really good.
Of course.
Or I'm just off for 2 months.
Yeah.
Now you did. I know. This is spilling tea behind closed doors. I don't know the term, the expression. You threw out an idea of reviewing old Thanksgiving Day parades.
Oh yeah, let's have a parade.
Let's have a parade.
Yeah. I think I also included Disney Christmas parade.
This is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. Which means it probably is a winner. Because I also said that about brands telling me about Deck the Hallmark. So I feel like it's probably, I can't imagine people just digging up their old parades to hear the reviews.
Well, they're all on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. Every Disney's Christmas parade is on YouTube.
So it's like a comment track. So you
I don't know. I don't know if it's a take it to the tape or if it's a let's rank the floats. Let's rank the float.
God almighty.
I don't know what it is.
I forgot I pitched that.
Does anyone like that?
Did you hit your head recently, Ryan?
I may be sporting a slight concussion as we speak. Yes, but this idea was long before that.
It's a long time ago.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, this was, I think, in like the beginning of summer. It was like a cold call to
that's
Brand.
a move.
Like, hey,
Maybe we call it. Maybe what if it's let's podcast a parade?
Let's have a
let's pot a
parade.
parade. Let's pot a parade.
Let's pot a parade.
Even
That's
the
not
name
bad.
is weird.
That's
Let's
not-
have
well,
a parade.
that's what they say at the beginning of the parade.
That's what
Al Roker
says
cuts
when
the
he
thing and he says, "Let's have a parade." Ba ba ba.
If nothing else, we can remember when Mario Lopez was on the Big Turkey last year. We should just watch that on
On a
loop.
loop.
You guys don't
Him and-
watch parades?
Him and his
still?
daughter were sitting at the top of this turkey, and it was
amazing.
great.
Okay.
I greatly regret I met Mario a few weeks after that at Christmas Con, and I greatly regret my opening line not being, "Hey man, you really killed it on top of that."
On top of that turkey.
Hey, you need to go. You need to go to another '90s con, and is he going to be at '90s con?
Dude, the whole cast
he'll
of
be
Boy
in
Meets
Tampa.
World
Yeah,
will
I
be
won't
there,
be
save
there.
for
Yeah.
Savage.
Save for
maybe-
Savage. Savage is out
Maybe
there.
Jack can pass that along to Mario.
Yeah, I'll pass along.
I
Hey
got you
Mario,
on it.
you look crushed it on that turkey. I don't know. Listen, we'll figure out something. I do love the idea of making Dan sit through 20-year-old parades.
Let's have a parade, guys.
Let's pot a parade.
Literally, and I'll do a Power Rangers podcast. I think.
Well, don't Dan, don't say that. Chat all of a sudden. At least Aaron's gonna infiltrate chat and be like, "Great idea, let's do that."
Let's
oh, did you? Yeah,
let's
that's
pot
right.
a parade. Yeah, why are you guys not doing something? You and
Yeah, I already pitched a Power Rangers podcast.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Watch.
I mean, a couple great Power Ranger Christmas episodes.
Is there?
Great.
There has to be a podcast, a Power Rangers podcast
Surely.
out there, right?
Oh, there's a bunch. I'll be honest, I don't really frequent them, but yeah, they exist. Yeah.
Let's pot a parade.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said Ryan and Brand do a synopsis of the parade, and Dan decides if he wants to watch it. I'm going to save you just a spoiler for every episode.
No, I like the
No.
idea of us watching the parade and ranking the floats. Ranking them.
That's the funniest idea. Like but
Mario
you-
Lopez on top
I
of a
mean,
turkey, 10 out of 10.
I understand that a lot of people listen to this show just for the bits, but this is pure farce. Like there's nothing, we're not hanging the stunts on any skeleton at all at that show. That show is just the reduction sauce of bits. If we're ranking floats from old parades.
Are we sticking to one ranking, or is it like Mario on a turkey is 10 out of 10, but then like
Or we-
Ryan Seacrest bungees
Or is it
in
like
and
a
it's
is it
5
like
out of
a
5 donuts?
a
Like,
screen draft situation where I can veto your ranking of the float? Like if you're like Mario on a turkey's at an A, I'm like Mario on a turkey's 1B. You're not getting away with this, veto. And then Ryan steps, he's like going to use my override here.
I mean, there was one year where like Neil Patrick Harris at the Disney thing like did a dance with a bunch of Darth Vaders. It's like that would be for fascinating ranking material.
Yeah, it would.
Dan.
I will say, like, if these are all on YouTube, another option is to do a take it to the tape, but we put it on our YouTube and it's like a split screen, a picture in picture. If it's already out there, we can't get in trouble for that. Hey, I'm not in trouble.
I think where we lose Dan, even if we could sell him on this, is that all of these are at least 90 minutes long. If
They're
not-
We should
not-
be able to
they're
watch a
longer than
little parade at work.
They're longer than a Hallmark movie. Let's have a parade. You
Let's
should be
pot a
shot on
parade.
sight.
pot a parade. Let's pot
Can
a
you
parade.
get it right?
Unbelievable.
Let's
but the first
pilot
time, no,
it.
you guys changed it. When you started, it was let's have a parade.
If we pilot it once.
Again, Brand does these workshops with me in real time on the air. We came up
Okay.
with let's pot a
Okay.
parade.
Here's the thing. We do the take it to the tape for the YouTube, and then hey, go listen to the after show where we rank them, and that's what goes in the podcast form.
Oh, the after show could be called "Don't Rain on My Parade."
Oh, that's it. That's it. This is it.
Don't rain on my post show.
Let us know what you think.
So this is a world where we get a parade from like let's say 1998, and we watch it live and comment on it.
Yeah.
And then after we're done, we're like that 90 minutes wasn't good enough. Let's carve out another 45 and rank the floats for just audio.
Very possible that one episode of Let's Pot a Parade post show equal like half the duration of Fast Friday.
That's right.
dinner.
Yeah. It's a 5-hour ordeal for us to pod one parade. Don't rain on my parade, man.
But we could knock out a season
All right.
of that in a week.
Yeah, if we have nothing else to do, you're right.
Boy, I can't wait to see what the opening show chatter for Fast 8's going to be. It's going to be hard. It's great. It's a week away. But still,
Of course.
Let's get to Furious 7.
Already? We're only 10 minutes in, guys.
Which I will
you
just.
sure you want to talk about the movie?
Here's what I want everyone to know. I will preface this with saying that once The Rock busted out of a cast, spoiler alert, I forgot to take notes. So my synopsis is going to be real detailed until The Rock breaks out of a cast.
That's right.
And then after that,
all bets are off.
it's basically done at that point, and I'll cry. Furious 7 originally premiered on April 1st at the TCL Chinese Theater. And then just 2 days later. So just you don't have to wait that long. April 3rd, 2015, right here in the United States of America. And it went a little something like this. So Owen's brother from the last movie is visiting his brother in the hospital, which is Shaw that we know now. And
You were
from Hobbs and
navigating.
Shaw. Well, what I'm saying is I'm never
let's get
going
off
to
of the parade talk. Let's center back in.
all I'm trying to say is last episode I kept saying Shaw.
That's right.
And what I want people to know is I'm going to say Shaw again.
Shaw's brother.
It's Shaw's brother,
Jason
but from
Statham.
henceforth
Jason Statham.
is Shaw.
That's right.
And then he blows up the hospital. Dom and Letty are together, and they're trying to just live normal lives despite her lack of memories. And Brian and Mia are parents. Brian's rocking a minivan, dropping his kids off at school. It's cute. Shaw breaks into Hobbs' office to get more information about the crew that did that to his brother. He gets what he needs, but Hobbs catches him, and they get into quite the fight that ends with a massive explosion that shoots Hobbs out of the window and lands him in the hospital. Not like out of the window straight into the hospital. He did land and then get transported to a hospital. I just want to make sure that was clear. Dom shows up to me and Brian's house and then gets a call from an unknown number. It's Shaw, who's like, you don't know me, but you will soon. And then a box blows their house to smithereens.
Yeah.
Just shrapnel everywhere. You know what they could use? A parade. At Han's funeral, Dom notices a car and assumes that it's Shaw, so he chases that car all around the graveyard and ends up in an underground tunnel where they literally run their cars into each other. It's a game of chicken that ends with they're chickened. A team of agents, though, approach them and stop.
So you said it's good before he breaks his arm out of the
It's more
cast.
details,
Okay,
what I'm
got
saying. A team of agents then approach them, and Shaw runs away. It's someone named Mr. Nobody. He is a government agent that nobody knows about. And, that's why. So he's missed. I got it.
You got it, yeah.
And he has a job for him. Mr. Nobody tells Dom that if he will help them in stopping Shaw, if he helps them, they can they gotta retrieve the God's Eye, and which is a computer program capable of tracking any person.
Man.
How about that?
In my God's eye, in my God's eye.
And if they do that, then they'll get shot. And no problem, no
problem
harm,
at
no
all.
foul.
That's right.
The job
They
is
can
easy.
use it. If they get it for the U.S.
Right.
government, then they'll
You use
get
it,
to
find
use
Shaw,
it.
and
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. The job is easy. Drop cars from a plane and take over a convoy and steal a flash drive. They do that. They drop their cars out of a plane with parachutes. It's a hoot. They rescue Ramsey, who is this girl who is a captive, and she created God's Eye, and they head out. They find out that the flash drive is in Abu Dhabi because it's sold to a billionaire. They break in because the car that has a flash drive in it is at the top of a building. So Dom and Brian hijack that car, drive it out of the window they're at the top of a building.
Yeah.
They drive. For those of you watching at Philo, I'm going to do some work with my hands here to help tell the story.
Thank you for your describing it.
So out of a window, breaks through the glass of another building, lands, no brakes.
No brakes.
What are we
going
going to do? What are we
yeah.
going to do? Well, let's hyperdrive this Joker, go out the window again, and then into another building.
Yeah. And imagine if you're trying to watch a parade from up there. It would just be
There'd be little
it'd be your
specks.
worst nightmare.
It'd be little specks. So they're spinning all out over the place, trying to stop this car and whatnot. And Brian is able to get the flash drive, and then they jump out of the car. So all good to go. So Mr. Nobody tells Dom that they are good to go get Shaw. But when they show up, they're greeted by the team that kidnapped Ramsey. They take back the God's Eye and also shoot Mr. Nobody. That's unfortunate. He tells Dom to make sure that Ramsey is safe. As long as she's alive, she can lock them out of the God's Eye. Later, Brian promises Mia that, hey, one last job. This is it. After this, we are going to go off into the sunset, and that's due in part to Mia being pregnant again. So we gotta really hunker down after this baby is born. It's time for the battle. It's time for battle, and we're in Los Angeles. And I got to be honest with you, I feel bad for the city of Los Angeles today because it is a day that will not be forgotten anytime soon. Traffic is there. The buildings are toppling over willy-nilly. And Hobbs, who's in the hospital, looks out his window and is like, uh-oh, battle's here. Then takes his arm. He says, I got to do something about this. Takes his arm that is in a cast. And for those of you who are watching on file, I'm going to do some work here to also act this out. Goes like this. Which causes the cast to just shatter. And he's out of there. He's out of there. He's all willy-nilly. The battle happens. There's the God's Eye. There's a helicopter. There's shooting. There's whatnots. Dom is flying up into the air trying to knock this helicopter out of the way. Shaw is just pummeled with debris. Nothing matters, though, because here's the thing. It's vroom vroom, baby. They are able to get the God's Eye. Everybody is happy. Everybody is safe. And the movie ends with the crew on the beach. Brian and Mia, they're playing with baby out on the beach. And Dom's like, I'm not even going to say goodbye. So he gets in his car and he drives. But there's a car coming up next to him. Who is that? It's Brian. And Brian's like, you thought you could leave without saying goodbye? And they race through the road as, what's that song? What's the song that plays?
See You Again.
See You Again plays.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of, and we get some clips and stuff, and it's a lot. They then, if there's a fork in the road,
It's a little merge.
a little exit.
Little
He's like, I'm
offering.
exiting stage left here.
Straight to heaven.
Stage. And that's it. The credits roll. And that, my friends, was Furious 7.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom to you.
Vroom, vroom.
Good to you.
Let's take a quick break, and we will come back, and we'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark presents Fast Friday.
I'm not trying to be like I'm just an idiot. Al Roker cuts a ribbon and says, "Let's have a parade."
Yeah, watch a parade for
That
once
is
in your
his
life.
big tagline.
Yeah.
That sounds made up to me.
No, and then the Macy's star just kind of like fumbles around.
Yeah, like,
You know what I'm
there's
talking
big
about?
boxes
There's big
everywhere,
boxes.
like big presents.
I'm just not as cool as you guys.
Well, yeah.
You know,
But, babe, vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom to you.
you know what's a great parade sequence in a movie is in Jingle All the Way.
Nope.
And,
Oh,
nope.
and Sinbad
We might have a different answer to this. Oh,
and
go ahead.
Sinbad knocks over one of those big boxes. And he says, "Get out of the way, box!"
Go away,
It's
box.
great. Oh, get out of the way, box.
Jingle All the Way is a terrible movie.
Oh boy, it's my favorite Christmas.
Are you serious?
Well, me and my mom watch it every Christmas Eve.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, sentimental value, whatever.
My mother thinks Jingle All the Way is
Oh,
hysterical.
I love that movie, and I stick up for it anytime I can.
I saw it in the theater when I was like a middle schooler, and I was so excited because I'm a big Sinbad stan, as the folks around the office know. And I remember walking in so excited and walking out going, Wow, that was not great. But I've not.
Sinbad has a lot of good. Have you ever rewatched
I've not
it, Dan?
seen it since the
Oh,
theater. Since the movie theater, I've not watched it again.
what if?
This is something to do this holiday.
What if one of the parades we do an audible and that's Jingle All the Way because it has a parade?
has a parade? Yeah.
Get out of the way, box.
Yeah, I was 13 when that movie came out. So
These cookies. Put the cookie down.
Oh, Dan, I own 3 Turbo Mans. 3.
dude, you have a problem. You have a vroom, hey Ryan, can I tell you something? Vroom vroom to you?
Oh, Dan.
Like, I don't want to say that, but like someone has to intervene here. 3 Turbo Mans, buddy, vroom vroom.
2 of them were very affordable.
What made the other one not affordable?
Well, the first one's an original.
There
That,
is no such thing. There is no such thing unless it's the one used in the movie. There is no such thing as an original Turbo Man. Stop it. Stop it. Vroom vroom.
Dan, I'm really going to need you to change your tone, pal.
Hey, how mad are you, Ryan, if you are the dad that is spending his entire Christmas Eve trying to get a Turbo Man, does all the things that Arnold has to do in this movie, finally gets a Turbo Man, and Anakin Skywalker gives it away?
Gives it away to Sinbad for after Sinbad just attempted murder on Anakin Skywalker.
I would be so mad.
So you guys don't really get the meaning of Christmas, I don't think.
Sure.
You guys are just a bunch of bullies.
That's my dad.
You know there's a post-credit scene, right, Bran?
There's a post-credit scene.
Jingle All the
There
Way.
is
We got to
not.
talk about
What's the
that.
post-credit scene?
I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm going to save it for Let's Pot a Parade.
Are we? No. No.
I think we have to do
I'm
it
a
now.
man with free agency of my time. And the answer is no.
Well, it seems like
I'm
Ryan.
not doing a parade podcast where one of the episodes is a viewing of Jingle All the Way. That
Dan,
is
the third
absurd.
Dan, the third act takes place at a parade.
it's a third of the
I've
movie.
seen the film. I've seen it.
Dan, to be fair, Jingle All the Way might actually be much quicker than some of the
That's
parades
fair.
in question.
No, we don't need to do the parade thing. We can just do the Jingle All the Way. I'll watch it again. I'll give it a fair shot.
You don't get to have your cake and eat it too.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking
How
about.
is that having my cake and eating it too? How is me watching a movie that I think is bad having my cake or eating
Because
it too?
you do get Sinbad and no parades.
Sinbad's always great, and I think
This is
that's fair.
Jingle All the Way.
It's
That's
a
fair.
textbook definition of having your cake.
I
and
don't
want to
watch the movie. I don't want to watch it.
I think this is us force-feeding Dan cake,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah, you're jamming cake that I don't want in my mouth is what you're doing.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer.
Furious,
I could-
Furious 7 is getting a fair
that's
shake.
the only reason I know the names of the reindeer.
Here's the
is
thing.
Because of
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I could potentially quote that entire movie.
oh, me too.
I love him. I love that movie.
That was really a bomb. Some sick people in this one.
Sick people.
Let's get to the hot take, where we share what we felt about Furious 7, which is the movie we're covering today. Ryan.
Yeah, that was cool. No, I'm kidding. All right, so this is the first Fast film I saw in theaters. It was also the culmination of me watching all the Fast films. Like I watched them out of order, but I'm pretty sure I saw all of them by the time I saw Furious 7 in theaters. I saw it opening weekend. I also, it's worth noting, I saw this film in theaters a few months ago. They re-released it before Fast X. And I'm just going to be honest, I really wanted to see Rock rip the cast out on the big screen again. So I genuinely, hilariously drove to the town where my vroom vroom to your shirt is, lost in the mail, to go see Furious 7 in theaters back in April. This movie is really, really enjoyable, totally nonsensical. At one point, Vin Diesel stomps the ground and it breaks in half.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. Justin Lin does not come back for this as director. James Wan does a lot of really cool stuff. He's a director I like. I'd be curious what the Justin Lin version of Furious 7 looks like. With that said, this movie is a hoot. And the final 7 minutes were a very, very tight rope to walk. I feel like Dan is for sure going to talk about the CGI in those final 7 minutes. So I will just say that I thought it was a very, very tough thing, a really tough landing to stick. I thought they did it very beautifully and as well as anything can be done given the circumstances of Paul Walker's untimely passing. I really enjoy this movie. With that said, I actually am going to take it a notch down or two after seeing it twice in these however many months. Not as good as I remembered it even last year, but I still really, really like it. It's insane.
Where are you going with it? Where's it ranking?
6, 5, 7
Okay.
would be the top of my
Gotcha.
list. So still good, but I feel like it's going to have a lot of competition from at least 8 and 10 by the end of this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel all of that. This one had like the not literal ludicrous, but like the ludicrous nature of this movie. There's lots of scenes that are just like insane. Seeing The Rock bust through a cast is hilarious and also like inspiring. Like maybe I should work out. I don't know. Like this would come in handy, I'm sure. But yeah, it's
So you've been watching The Rock on screen
Yes.
for forever, and you see him bust through a cast, fake cast, not a real cast. He couldn't bust through a real cast.
that's not what I heard.
And now you want to work out.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right, great.
I like that. Not seeing The Rock's impressive physique
No, it's
is
not,
why you want to work out.
It's not the fact that he doesn't have a neck. It's
He's huge, man.
Yeah, it's not that.
Guy's
did
yoked.
nothing. Yeah.
He's yoked.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if I ever get injured, this is what I can do. And like, yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
beautiful.
do think like for me it's 5, 6, 7. Like I don't like this one as much as the last one. The ending of this movie though is beautiful. I did. I don't know if I teared up, but I could have. If I wasn't like
I feel like you did.
I might have.
Yeah.
Like a tear.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a lot, but it was enough to warrant a don't look at me, I think. So yeah, I did have a quite a good time with this one, but I do feel like maybe the 5, 6, 7 is it going downhill? I don't know. I don't know.
So
Find out
we're
next week.
all now going to split on our rankings of the
Okay.
top 3. I quite enjoy this movie, and it was the first one that I saw in IMAX. And I will say this: James Wan, whom I love, Conjuring, Saw, all those horror movies. I think degree of difficulty matters in these movies. I think it's not just like if you're watching these movies for character and story. I don't know why, like that they don't, from one movie to the next, they can do whatever they want with the characters and the story. This movie has a great villain, Jason Statham, a very easy to follow plot. We've got a MacGuffin, a God's Eye. We've got Shaw, who's trying to kill the gang because they tried to kill his brother. Very simple, straightforward. The gang's all working together. They have to steal something. They also have to be chased from something. And then you have the sheer like asinine level of the stunts in this thing. The car from building to building to building in Abu Dhabi is one of my favorite things they've done. They just lean completely in to the fact that it doesn't have to make any sense. They're dropping these cars out of an airplane with parachutes, all of it. Better bad guy than 6. Better that set piece in Abu Dhabi. Better. I like that more than anything else in 6. And then, for my money, degree of difficulty matters. What James Wan has to do in this movie is more difficult than anything Justin Lin had to do. And Justin Lin's amazing, and he uses practical effects whenever he can, and I'd prefer that. But since we've gone full Looney Tunes anyway, James Wan did a great job there. And then, considering the circumstances, what they have to do is get Paul Walker's brother in here to film certain scenes. They have to film a weird scene, a fight scene with Statham in the dark. They got to do some really like sneaky camera work. They got to use some CGI at the end of this movie to get our moment. But you know what? They do it. They do it. They give you an actual emotionally resonating moment at the end of this movie. So better bad guy, better set piece, and higher degree of difficulty. This movie's better than 6 for me across the board. I go 5, 7, 6 in my top 3. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed this movie. First time I'd seen it since theaters. I liked it just as much second time through.
The Abu Dhabi scene is
It's phenomenal.
fantastic.
It's so great.
Excellent. Yeah. 3rd is not a bad I love this movie. It's
Yes.
just like, I do think that I prefer Justin Lin's style a bit more than you. And not I know that's what you prefer too, but the discrepancy between what Lin does and Juan does for me is a little jarring in this one. But by the time you get to 8, 9, and 10, when it's just the norm, I think it feels more fluid.
Well,
at
Lin
that
comes
point, if that makes
back
sense.
for 9, right?
Right.
And I
Yes.
think for me, Lin built a bridge to this in 6. Like Justin Lin in 5 is as good a direction as these movies have. Like it's phenomenal. And then in 6, he starts to experiment with the Looney Tunes side of this to go bigger. And so I think Juan just took the next step. I think he just said, we're continuing to go bigger. And also, considering the circumstances surrounding the movie, you kind of had to. And so it's definitely more cartoony, in my opinion.
You get parachute cars.
Yeah.
You get
but I'm
building to building jumps.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And it's not that I don't enjoy. The one thing 6 has that 7 doesn't is it has more rock in it.
Yeah.
In 7, rock is at the
That's
beginning.
what it is.
And then he gets sidelined, and then he comes in at the end.
The noticeable absence of Hobbs in this movie, I
Yeah.
think, is what brings it down a bit for me.
But for me, everything else, like the fact that you had to say good, like, there's sometimes where you would just shut the production of the film down when somebody dies. And you have this like fitting tribute where Vin and Paul were close, and Paul wanted to make 10 of these movies. And so this is about fulfilling like what this guy really wants. And you got his brother in there, like, and to have to think through how you rewrite and reconstruct a film that's partially made to honor someone, and then to do it with like a great bad guy and a great like thing you have to find. And we didn't even mention the Kurt Russell of it all, and he's fantastic in this movie. So I lose some of The Rock, but I get Statham and Kurt Russell and that Abu Dhabi set piece and the emotional ending. For me, that's enough.
The other thing before all the feels is what I meant to say this was the last one. It picks up the trend from the last one. Hand-to-hand combat in these movies is excellent from here on out. Like the fight scenes weren't a big part of 1 through 4, especially because they didn't need to be. 5, the Vin Rock fight scene is great, but it's like, it very much caters to those two guys' style. We now have not John Wick level stuff, but really, really good martial arts in these films the rest of the way through, and that's a real treat. And that starts in 6 with the subway, but really kicks off in 7 and goes through the we have now.
Here's the thing, is you bring in Statham, who's a martial artist. You bring in Tony Jaa, Ong Bak Thai warrior is in this movie. You bring in guys that can do this, that aren't just like big bruisers. And that allows you to really have some more fun with the fight scenes. So I agree with that completely. Yeah, give me 7 over 6, guys.
Fair. No, it's fair.
Fair. There's no wrong answer, in my opinion.
No. Because 6 is still solid.
Yeah.
5, 7, 6. And you go 6, 5, 7, and then you go
5, 6,
5,
7.
6, 7. Man.
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's have a parade. It's time for all the feels. So we're talking about what gave us feels. I mean, I imagine the end of this movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want an off the board answer, although the answer is the end of the movie, I will go just a few minutes before that. Paul Walker's acting has been a journey for all of us so far. I gotta say, he's fantastic in the scene where he's trying to revive Dom at the end. Like, it's legitimately
he's the best he's ever been in this movie.
Yes.
That legitimately very moving and very touching. The moment is tense and he rises to that moment. The discrepancy between him and the first film and that moment right there is incredible. He crushed that.
Agreed 100%. 100%.
I like that.
And I also think it felt like, I don't know. It just felt so unbelievably couldn't be a coincidence. The scenes that they had with him. Do you know what I mean? Like this scene at the minute with the minivan, like by himself dropping it, like some like little stuff like that. And then you also have this scene where he's, saying, trying to revive Dom. Like the scenes you get from him are the ones you really need to say goodbye to him. And so I would say I would go a step further with the end of this movie and go, the CGI is kind of terrible. But you know what? I said that before it happened. And I almost feel like that makes it better because what they decided was this is more important than making it look amazing. We have to do this. This is the thing that we believe we have to do. We're going to make it look as good as we can. But you know what? We need this scene. Everybody needs this scene. So we're going to give everybody this scene. You go to like a Wakanda Forever, for instance, where they don't try to do that at all. And Wakanda Forever is, in my opinion, the 10 of 10 version of this. However, the Fast series is very the Fast series is very different in what it means and what those characters mean and how they're treated. And everybody neted that scene. And so
it looks better than Gemini Man.
I don't know.
I'll say this. It also looks better I've seen this movie a handful of times, again, twice recently. The final scene looks better than a couple other times they had to do it with Paul. Like Paul, that's not Paul Walker in the scene in Abu Dhabi with the car going through the buildings. That's not him.
No.
Like, and theater the first time all those years ago, I didn't notice it, but now it's all I can see. I think the final scene looks better than that stuff. But again, Dan, to your point, they did the best that they could, and they made the right call.
Yeah.
Like,
and that scene in Abu Dhabi, they do a great job of putting that car in a separate room and splitting everybody up. Like the strategery involved there is really impressive. But the end, it's like, also seeing it on an IMAX, the effects I remember were terrible. Like it's so big on that IMAX screen that you're like, ooh, this looks bad. But watching it here in the office, it was like, yeah, you can tell, but it wasn't, I think it was the move. I think it was the right thing to do.
No, they got it right.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the Way What and the Fast or Furious here on Deck the Hallmark. Thanks, guys. Leave me.
Deck the Hallmark presents Fast Fridays.
We are talking about the Furious 7. And
all the way.
It is time for the Wait What. So we're talking about what in this movie. Let's go Wait What. And I'll start with you, Ryan.
Thank you. Dom calls Brian early on in the film the Buster.
The Buster.
Which was a nice new twist on a time-honored tradition. I don't think we've gotten the Buster yet, and I audibly got excited. Let's see here. In the first 6 films of the movie, we've been taught
6 films of the movie,
films of the franchise.
Okay.
Again, I'm a little loopy
and also
here today.
I'm pretty sure that the Buster thing happens at the beginning of 8. When he's in
the Buster,
when he calls the Buster in Cuba, he said the Buster would do this. I'm just remembering 8. I know that's next week, but
Well, I know you haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah. But he does that at the beginning of 8. Does he do it at the beginning of 7 too?
Does he do it at the beginning of 9 and 10?
I don't know.
This is stuff to look forward to.
Buster.
In the first 6 films of the saga is what I meant to say. Sure, glass will break your fall and you'll be fine. But what we have been kind of conditioned to believe is that you don't want to crash your car.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So you know what Dom and Shaw do in this movie? They crash their cars into each other as a bleep measuring contest. And they do this twice. They do this 2
full
distinct
speed.
times.
That's right.
Yeah. And I thought that was really a fun time. I don't understand why on earth Dom's government file needs to include that he likes Corona. And I then wondered if my government file says that I really like Cherry 7-Up. Because
it does.
That's my favorite beverage.
Cherry 7-Up's your favorite beverage?
I mean, soda-wise. I mean, I like water's probably my favorite beverage, but yeah. Was Letty just withholding that she had her memory back the whole time?
Yeah. That's a weird one. Well, she doesn't at the beginning of the movie.
Right, but she definitely has her memory before that moment at the end. But she just chose not to say anything.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah. It's a tough one.
Yep. Oh, and then just one last one here. Literally every action set piece, but that's not a bad thing. So that,
of course. Listen,
I think that goes without saying for the rest of the saga.
No, I think there's times when you have to try your best to, within the logic even that the film has, you can use a wait what there, but it has to be like, even within the film's logic, this doesn't work. But in this one, it's like, you're flying the cars between buildings. What do you want from me?
But again, all good stuff.
No, phenomenal.
Brand?
While I am known around here as Hallmark Daddy, I am also a real life father. And I have a couple of kids. I have put in a car seat.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Many times. They're always annoying. It never gets less annoying. So the first scene in the minivan, guys, I'm nitpicking here, but
no, this is a fair wait what.
He pulls up to the school and baby is on the right side.
Passenger
side.
Yes.
To make it easier on the drop off, right? The teacher's there to help get the baby out and we're all or the toddler out. Makes sense. However, the next day, bomb day,
as we call it. That's
when Brian is putting the kid in the car seat is now on the left side of the vehicle.
You would never
do that unless You have a bomb sequence to film, and you need to make sure that they're on that side.
That's right.
It's the only way you do it, and you wouldn't back in a van. So the more believable thing is that for some reason, a dad decided willingly to change the side of the car seat, which you would never do.
And also,
you don't move that thing unless you have to,
if you're
because it's such a pain.
And if you're tall, you always put that car seat not behind the driver because your kid's going to kick you. The whole drive. Yeah. So,
Brian's having a conversation with me, and he says this line: I don't miss the cars or the girls. I miss the bullets.
Yeah, come on. You need some vroom vroom, buddy.
You
need to see. There's some.
Talk to someone.
God, please talk to someone.
I would have assumed it would have been the opposite. I miss the cars and I miss the girls. I don't really miss the bullets. This guy's the opposite.
I don't miss like getting shot at. I miss like the adrenaline of it. No. This guy misses the actual bullets.
He enjoys the bullets.
He loves the bullets. I'm concerned.
Saw them live.
I saw them live. At one point, I don't even really remember who does it, but there is I want to say it's Dom aims his gun down at a screen that is being viewed by the bad guys. And the guy watching the video flinches as if that's how bullets work. That bullets, he's like, whoa, he's aiming the gun at me.
Shoot me through the screen.
So we get to see through flashback Dom and Letty's wedding. Yeah. And the rings are gone or something. I don't really remember. He didn't have the ring.
He's got a cross.
So he's like, I got this cross. And the priest is like, no problem. I've done this a million times before. He just wraps that thing around their hands. He's just like, yeah.
It's a cross.
It's a classic cross necklace situation wedding. I've done this before. No big deal. He was very prepared for this situation. Last but not least, let's pour one out for the city of LA, who took it on the chin in this movie. They're going to be paying this back for years. Yeah. For years and years and years, the city of LA will be paying for the sins of this movie. This town is destroyed. But what can you do? Because vroom vroom.
Family. 14 years between this movie and the first one. Had a lot of time to change the name Race Wars. You didn't do it.
Did they do it? Is it Race Wars in this movie?
Sure is. Did it again. You had all this time. Could have called
Dom says,
else.
I know something that'll definitely jog your memory, and it's the Race Wars.
Race Wars. You don't remember this? No, it's just cars. Don't worry. It's just cars. The Rock is in the hospital at the beginning of this movie, and you go in to see him, and The Rock, the only way I have this in my head is The Rock looked at somebody before he filmed the scene and said, I'll be damned if I'm going to wear a hospital gown. Because while everyone else would wear a hospital gown, The Rock is just like shirtless in this hospital bed. Like all he has is a broken arm, and he is not wearing the standard issue. Everyone gets one. Everybody wants one. Everybody needs one hospital gown that you would all wear in the hospital. He's like, no, not on my watch. Would never. Who do you think I am? Wouldn't do it. I know that we have some stuff we can't question in this movie, and that's fine. But if we need cars to be parachuted in because this facility is so highly monitored, how did Shaw get in so easily? We watched this whole thing where the gang has to parachute their cars in, and when they think they've made it through, Shaw just comes out of the woods in a car, and you're like,
he's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Where? How? What? How did he get in? What was his master plan to get in? It took these guys parachuting from the sky. What did he do?
Yeah, and to that point, even though he's buddies with the guys who have God's eye, Shaw being everywhere they are at every turn doesn't really hold up on a rewatch.
And I think that was my original wait what, but I just decided, okay, some of these places he's just a step ahead. But they go through an entire exposition about how this place you cannot get into. It's just impossible. And Luda's like, I got an idea. We'll drop. Well, then all of a sudden Statham's just there in the weeds. He's just there. And I don't, that's not fair. We don't need to say it, but I'm gonna. Vin Diesel casually holds up the front end of a car for 30 minutes in this movie. He casually lifts the front end of a car off the ground and just goes, hurry up. And literally for minutes on end, he is just deadlifting over 1,000 pounds. Good on you, Vin. That's all I got.
If Vin was holding the front of a car, would you get under it?
No way.
No?
No way.
I trust Vin.
I trust Vin.
trust Dom.
Yeah,
I
I
trust
trust Dom.
Yeah,
I trust
yeah,
Groot.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Vin, but I do trust Dom and Groot. So
Imagine a Groot float, like a Groot
can you
float at a
imagine
parade.
that?
Man.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Okay, picture this: a Groot float,
Mamma Mia Toretto.
a Groot
Yeah.
float, and sitting on one of the branches is Vin Diesel and his daughter.
Forget it. Forget 10 of 10 unless it gets vetoed by Dan.
10 to 10. No, I won't let
It
him.
seems
I'll
like it's
I'll
a veto.
override.
Yeah.
I'll use my override. That's the
Not doing
only
anything for me, guys.
logical.
Sorry.
You what?
My Groot override. Yeah.
It's time for Fast or Furious. Is where we talk about the things that are really happening and how where we're kind of at in our processing. Ryan.
I'll go fast. I was. It might not totally translate now. Bram, what year did you say this came out? 2015, 2016?
Are you talking about when it premiered at the Chinese theater or
yeah.
or a different? 2015 for both of them.
Yeah.
2015. But Iggy Azalea has a quick cameo in this movie, and Ronda Rousey has an awesome fight scene with Michelle Rodriguez. In 2015, those are two of the most famous people alive. By Furious 7, this franchise had become the thing.
Yes.
And I mean, so it's just worth noting that specifically right here, right now in 2015, those are two of the most famous people in the world, and they were both in this movie. Just wanted to pass that along. And it ascended very fast. The Fast franchise.
Yeah.
Thank
Fast. Nicely done. Good tie in there. Vroom to you.
Thank you, Dan.
Absolutely.
Listen, I don't want to overhype how amazing it was to watch a man bust through a cast, but I do need to bring it up again. It has inspired me in so many ways. I could not be more fast for that scene, and I'm dying to see them let's put him in a body cast. Let's freaking do it up in one of these final two movies that we're gonna get. Like, let's go big with the cast and see what this guy can really do. That's what I'm here for. Dan.
Let's go big with the cast and see what he can really do.
You get it.
With it.
We got it.
Yeah, I'll go fast. I feel like we're about to start getting heavy hitters that are all going to say yes in this movie to this movie. Mirren, Theron, you name it. And so
Crandall.
I feel like we're in for a fun ride ahead of us. Yeah, and it was a good rewatch. I just enjoyed this rewatch thoroughly. So there you go.
Crandall.
Yeah, Crandall's going to be in
Dude,
there.
Crandall's going to crush. It's time for Driver of the Week. It's where somebody emails in a driver to nominate for the week, and Dan reads that email. It is typically very pointed and weird. Dan, who do we have today?
This is the Driver of the Week this week is Anya Marks. Okay. Anya
This
Marks.
seems like a joke.
And underneath it says, "Not my real name, deal with it." I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information.
That's weird.
Anya Marks and not my real name.
Another person nominating themselves.
Not my real name. Well, and what's interesting is
That's two in a row.
the email address is not Tim Tebow. not Tim Tebow at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Wait, not Tim
Not
Tebow?
no, just one not. Just one not.
Oh, okay.
I think that would give it away.
It's an important clarifying question.
Oh, glory to God, guys.
Oh boy, is that Anya?
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 It's
Is that
definitely
you?
not Tim Tebow.
You could
Go
say that?
Gators.
Go Gators.
Sorry.
What?
Go Seminoles, my bad.
What in the? How do you think Tim Tebow sounds?
Just like this.
Like this?
I would know because I'm not him.
You would know.
I am him. No, I'm not.
You're not him.
God bless. What's up, baby? Urban Meyer's great coach, or is he? Who knows?
Not you.
Not me. I wouldn't. I was in the locker room.
Did you think Anya Marks was a funny joke?
I did think it was very funny.
Yeah, I thought.
Have you
might.
guys watched Swamp Kings?
Swamp
Kings, a documentary on Netflix about the Florida Gators.
Is that about the Florida Gators?
Yeah,
Is that where you got all your information from?
I'm not in it. Or am I?
This is the worst Tim Tebow impersonation I've ever heard.
Jesus Christ is with us all.
Oh boy.
Vroom to you,
Vroom,
Tebow.
vroom,
Vroom to
not
you,
you.
Tim. Or
You
not,
can't see me
Tim.
right now, but I'm kneeling
Yeah.
in the end zone where I belong.
Anya, when I say get, set, go, what do you think of?
The Florida Gators. Because they all go all the time. Or are they? Go Seminoles.
Hey, how heavy is your Heisman Trophy?
Oh, so heavy.
You wouldn't know, though. I think.
I wouldn't know. You're right.
Can I tell you this? I think Tim Tebow
Yeah.
is related to Decanter.
I might be, yes.
Just a little bit related to Decanter.
Yeah, and I just want to say this, as college football season is now upon us. Go Gators. I'm kidding. I'm not. Okay, you gotta go. That was a weird one.
That was a weird one.
That was a weird one.
I don't know if this segment's a great segment. It's still better than Let's
Can we
Have
get
a
Anya?
Parade.
Can we get Anya for parades?
Yeah.
Can we get Anya for
Oh,
Let's
I'm
Have a
sure we
Parade?
can.
Yeah.
Man. All right. deckthehomework.com/shop to get your very own Fast Fridays
All
design.
weekend, September 15th, 16th, 17th.
Woo!
All weekend long. Then it's gone. Midnight on the 17th. West Coast time. So 3 a.m. East Coast time.
Don't you even try to wake up Monday morning and
Well,
get
the
it.
West Coast needs that extra 3
They do.
hours after everything that we saw
That's
in LA.
right.
Go
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
What-
you know?
If you wake up on Monday morning and it's and you try to find it, it won't be there.
No.
Or will it? I don't know.
Oh, no. You're not Tim Tebow.
I'm not Tim Tebow. I don't know the future.
That's right.
All right, guys, we're going to be back next week with Fate of the Furious.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
Yep.
Fate of the Furious. We'll also be back every other day next week with regular content. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a vroom vroom.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.